On the final day of the season, players welcome one last hug in Athletes Unlimited. Katie Glynn lives for the pressure, and with big stops like these, she deserves a medal. Young Abby Bosco, a thief on defense, could very well have her hand in the money. One goes behind the back, one meets you head on with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. You're watching Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN, presented by Topps. The closing day of Season 3 is a beautiful one in Sparks, Maryland. Lax fans get one last eyeful of doubleheader action. First up, it's Team Glynn in a battle with Team Bosco. What began 24 days ago asked 56 of the best players in the world to compete for one overall champion. Teammates have changed every week through a captain's draft. The athletes have run the gauntlet of a fast-paced scoring system, and today's the day we learn who is number one. So good to see you again. Alongside Courtney Martinez, Connor, a five-time national champion at Maryland. I'm Joe Beninati. Courtney, in this first matchup, what is the motivation overall for these players to do well?
You know, Joe, I think it's the ability to do well as a team. Yes, you want to do well for yourself, but all of these captains are in the hunt for a medal, so you want to make sure you do your part on the field. All
right, a drum roll, please. Here's the top 10 as we speak today. Just a reminder, the top 4 overall will medal.
Taylor Marino had an outstanding day yesterday. She leads the leaderboard. Sama Puzo, she is still in the hunt. Katie Glynn is up there as well. If you look at McCool, Bosco, Arsenault, and Reed all the way down through spot 7, I think they have a strong handle on medaling as well. It's just a matter of, are they going to put up points individually? Is their team going to have quarter-to-quarter wins?
As we prepare for play in the opener, Katie Glynn knows that her goaltending may bring a great reward today.
As I mentioned, she is absolutely in the hunt for a medal. She just needs to be laser focused. When she is dialed in, the saves just seem to fall. Katie is so good at staying big in the cage. She fuels her team when she is locked in and ready. So expect for a lot to flow through her, especially as they transition to offense.
If she is to prevail and pick up a victory, it's likely that Katie O'Donnell and Livy Rosenzweig will lend a hand.
These two, they are incredibly consistent on the field. They gain a lot of possessions for the team, whether at the draw or in transition. Katie is very vocal, gets the team going on the field, and Livy speaks volumes just with her unassuming style of play.
On the other side of the equation, Abby Bosco attempting to be the first defender to secure a top 4 medal in Athletes Unlimited.
You know, Abby may be small, but she plays big. She is just a rookie. She gets a tough assignment. She gives herself oftentimes that best attacker on the opponent, but she is somebody who sparks play on the field just with her positive style.
That first timer keeps high-scoring veteran company with Kenzie Kent and Charlotte North.
Kenton North, both of these players, big-time players who need to play big for Team Bosco to do well today. They have the ability to put up a lot of points, whether it's scoring goals, assisting their teammates, or riding. Kent has been known to cause a turnover here and there, but the two of them working together is what's needed.
Maria Trivalpiece runs the sidelines for us. She's had conversations with the captains today.
I asked both Abby Bosco and Katie Glynn how they were approaching this last game of the season, and they both pretty much said the same thing. They said they're not trying to look at that leaderboard too much. They just want to have fun. Katie Glynn said she was so proud of the way that her team rebounded and came out victorious yesterday. And Abby Bosco said she liked the way that her team played in the first 2 games. They just want to try to get a victory today.
There's been a lot to like, Maria. It's been a very hotly contested final week, week 4 of Season 3 with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. So glad you've tuned in with us for the final day's festivities. Glynn and Bosco setting to go. Lax lovers, we enjoy bringing you into the game as often as possible. Charlotte North has lent her insights to every game. Charlotte, school's out after this one. What's the lasting impression you want to leave?
Oh, I'm just going to miss playing lacrosse with these girls. They're amazing. They're so inspiring and just fun to be around all the time.
Charlotte, if you had to summarize the entire season into a few words, what does that look like?
Ooh, that's tough. I'd say competitive, but also, you know, a lot of skill, a lot of talent, a lot of grit, and you know, it's come down to, you know, a few plays each game, which is what it's all about. The best players are out there and they're scrapping for every last 50-50 ball, which is pretty cool.
Charlotte, thanks so much for the insight. We'll be checking in with you from time to time. Game number 23 of 24. Team Glenn in the purple, Team Bosco in the blue. The officials are Ronnie Anton, Kim Kramer, Erica Leslie, and Liz Brush. The table official all season long has been Lynn Bowers. We are off and running. Sunday, August the 13th, the day when we will crown the Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 3 champ. Amanda Johansson looking to clear. One summer ago, she placed 6th on the leaderboard. Again, the top 4, once we are through with the 2 games today and the MVP votings have been conducted, the top 4 will medal. Defending champion Taylor Marino cooling her heels, waiting for the chance to bring down the curtain on the season against Sam Apuzzo. Johansson walks in, Waters with the early denial, 5 points for every goal he saved, but Bosco doesn't clear cleanly. Another offensive touch for Team Glenn in purple, a mark of 1-1. Team Bosco at 0-2 in this, the final game of the season for these groups. Warden comes up with a ground ball. It's Fortunato who's next. Courtney, who tallied twice yesterday. In Athletes Unlimited, we play at 10-on-10. The rosters are 14 players long. Rosenzweig going to the goal. Waters was ready. Follow-up chance sent high by Geyersbach, and this will turn back over to Team Bosco in blue.
You know, already we're seeing a bunch of solid looks on cage for Team Glenn. They are translating shots, which is what you want, out of a lot of possessions. They basically had 3 or 4 shots all in that one possession, fighting to get that ball back. Very composed in their offense, taking their time, which is what you need. You need to start to get into a rhythm offensively.
First touch here, turning back. The drive from North hits pay dirt. Charlotte North gets that one to squeak through Katie Glenn.
Charlotte North on the field. She just has the ability to work on a lot of different types of dodges. We see her slow things down. She's going down the alley. Nobody was really sending a hard double because it seemed like she was going to hit the ball to X. Slow things down, relax. Love that she is feeling it on the field. Whenever your first shot falls, you got to be excited with that.
She dancing or is she injured there? I'm just teasing.
That's a
I'm
move.
just teasing. She keeps
She's
waving her
still
arm.
moving.
I'm
Still
telling
moving.
you, it might not be a dance. Just telling you, just letting you know. All it took, though, was one misstep for Marae Durkin. You saw her try to plant defensively. That created the room for North to turn and fire. And Charlotte, right up there all season long with the leading goal scorer. She led the campaign in 2022. Her rookie season, she came right from Team USA's World Games winner and set Athletes Unlimited afire with goals. Draw possession belongs to Bosco in blue. A 1-0 advantage and right back to work. Here comes Charlotte North off the split. Tracked down by Johansson, who takes the ball away but didn't come out of the pack cleanly. As the bodies are flying around, the officials will award possession to Team Bosco.
And Joe, there's the quick double that we're used to seeing Charlotte have to bob and weave around. Team Bosco realizing she's a threat.
Outside the 8-meter key, long-range drive was answered by Glenn. If you score from there, you'll get 2 points for your team, 16 for yourself on the leaderboard counter. In Athletes Unlimited, you have 20 seconds to clear the midline. No worries for Katie O'Donnell. O'Donnell, who now has 11 multi-goal games in her career after a 2-spot yesterday. Team Glenn battling Team Apuzzo and getting the better of Captain Sam yesterday. Low-scoring games on Saturday. What are we in store with on Sunday, this final day of Athletes Unlimited? 20 points available for the team that wins each individual quarter. North has Bosco out in front. Rosenzweig, as the games have gone along, she's gotten better and better. This is a BB upstairs.
We talked about Team Glenn needing Livy Rosenzweig, number 54 in purple, to have a big day if they're going to do well, not just with draw controls, but we see this acceleration coming off of the shoulder of her teammates. When a pick is set, you want to be as tight as possible, but you got to change that speed, coming off of it hard and fast. McCone a little late covering that defensive miscue, as you cannot leave Livy Rosenzweig open coming off of that stack.
She has fit in beautifully. Goals in her last 7 games. This injury replacement that joined Athletes Unlimited in week 2. Folks, for every assist during this season's Athletes Unlimited campaign, Aspiration committed to planting 10 trees. Stay tuned. We'll see how many will be planted thanks to Aspiration's support. Thanks to them and all of our generous sponsors. Over at the table, there is a review being conducted. As the athletes are playing a little game on the field, wondering if this Rosenzweig strike is worth 1 or 2.
Ooh, and that's a close look there. Potentially that toe is out. This will be a little bit of a better look.
The ruling on the field is reversed. It is a 2-point goal.
Rosenzweig gets credited with the 2. The first professional 2 of her career, drawing applause from those in the stands here at USA Lacrosse HQ. We're in Sparks, Maryland, 20 minutes or so north of Charm City, Baltimore. McCone and Rosenzweig re-engage in the draw circle. Livy set an Athletes Unlimited record yesterday with 13 draw controls. Pops this one loose for Detweiler. It bounces into the waiting cross of Kenzie Kent. Another of the high-scoring attackers in Athletes Unlimited. By the end of the season, there'll be 4 different 20-goal getters. Detweiler, not afraid to be physical there. She knocked Kent down. The ball comes up. Woo, rough run for Cookie Carr. Possession for Team Glenn in the purple jerseys. The Rosenzweig 2 giving them the advantage as we near the 4-minute mark of the opening period.
The defense in Athletes Unlimited, incredibly physical, athletic, a little bit more than what you see in the NCAA game. As long as a player is not displaced, a foul will not be called. Obviously, anything around the neck or head area, those are always called immediately. These are the big points of emphasis.
Johansson outside the 8-meter key, bluffs the flip, works in, sets it for Fortunato. Fortunato on the run, fires and scores. Back-to-back strikes for Team Glenn.
Courtney Fortunato, 2 goals the other day. She'd been kept quiet for quite some time after leaving Team Apuzzo. Every week, different teams, new rosters after the draft. Courtney Fortunato using her right-handed sweeping motion. What's tough to mark with her, she can go left or right. It doesn't matter. When she is on the run, has her hands free, she's incredibly difficult to stop.
The Rosenzweig 2 and the Fortunato single, 66 seconds apart. 3-1 now for Team Glenn in the chase for those 20 points for whomever wins this first quarter. And Courtney, you were talking about Fortunato's drought. She had gone goalless in 3 of the last 5 before clicking for back-to-back tallies now. As McCone attempts to win another draw against Livy Rosenzweig, who has been dominant in that regard in the last couple of weeks. She gets possession. For every draw control, it's 2 points on your leaderboard tally.
And you see how she changed locations. Previously, she was winning it to the spot she wanted. Those along the circle weren't quite getting it there. So then she just changed where she's placing that ball again. It's all about wrist strength, quickness, and then being highly skilled.
Ramsey on the go, loves to draw and paint. Very artistic is Katie Ramsey, especially in the shoe department. Rosenzweig off the flip, inside roll, and she converts. Rosenzweig gets her second of the day.
Second goal of the day, 3rd point. First one being a 2-pointer. Rosenzweig, as she's coming from X, again, she can do so much. whether it's from up top, behind, cutting inside. She is a finisher, and we see that one stuck right in the side netting where that black Athletes Unlimited sign is. The ball just kind of died as soon as it hit that spot.
Rosenzweig, who had a career-best 4 goals against Team Marino on Thursday in a losing effort, already halfway there today before we were halfway through the opening quarter. So far, so very good for Team Glenn in purple. Team Bosco looking for its first win of this last weekend. 3 tallies for Team Glenn in a little less than 2 minutes. Ball down, scooped by Grace Griffin. Griffin, who recently scored her first career 2-point goal, clearing with Courtney Taylor's assist. Taylor, one of the all-defensive team members this summer with Athletes Unlimited, keeping very good company.
And with the absence of Becca Block, that spot is wide open. She earned All Defensive Player in Season 1 and Season 2 of Athletes Unlimited. Incredibly fast, quick, but tough to beat defensively.
North sizzles this one right to Glenn. There will be a new Defender of the Year award, and that'll come. You'll see the post-game ceremonies after our 3:30 game on ESPN+. We'll crown the champion, inscribe her name into the Book of Unlimited. 4 medalists, the Defender of the Year award, and the new Teammate of the Year award in post-game ceremonies following the end of the doubleheader today. Ball down, hold ruled, and this is possession for Team Glenn, and a chance to start away for Melissa Hawkins. Nicole Levy sharing the ball with Fortunato. Back behind the cage, you see Geyer's back with both legs bandaged. Geyer's back had a awkward collision with her own teammate Fortunato yesterday. Able to gut her way through it and play again today. Rosenzweig on the move. The trail check supplied by Taylor. 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited. Sits at 23. Levy trying to get underneath. No sail against Bosco's defense. The Bosco defense today, Taylor, Geiger, Whiteman, and Bosco herself. Abby, the rookie here, looking to clear the zone, trying to be the first ever defender to medal in Athletes Unlimited. Taylor Cummings, the inaugural champion. Taylor Marino, a season ago. Sammy Jo Tracy will take it for a ride. Flip for Kenzie Kent. Kent angles. Stopping and starting. The short side bid. Glenn was there. The ricochet out of bounds. And this will be a cause turnover point for Katie Glenn, plus 14 in lacrosse. First and closest to the ball wearing when it leaves the field, gets possession. Glenn then wisely flipped that one into the back of the cage so she could get some time to start the clear with Cookie Carr. Cookie, though, wipes out near midfield. This is going to be failure to advance, if not the turnover, and it's forced by Ost-Holman. Great ride by Team Bosco. Molly Garrett on the move. Shaded carefully by Amanda Johansson. Griffin on the go. Too tall for Ost-Holman. Fast break time now. O'Donnell on the run. 4 on 3. O'Donnell all the way. Scores! Coast to coast.
Katie O'Donnell with the speed, the pickoff out of the backfield from a cause turnover. She earns 14 points, a goal, an additional 12. This was a big-time play for Katie O'Donnell and Team Glenn as they are just extending their lead here in this first quarter. 5-1 for Team Glenn and Athletes Unlimited.
Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN is sponsored by Tops and by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact. Another hot one here in Sparks, Maryland, and a hot start for Team Glenn. 5 points to be specific, the last of which in this role, compliments of Katie O'Donnell. And Courtney, things happened quickly in Athletes Unlimited. It was a 3-goal spree in a little less than 2 minutes that fuels this Glenn advantage.
Rosenzweig, she was off to a strong start. Couple sweeping motions, first Rosenzweig, then Fortunato, and then challenging from a different area, Livy. Again, showing she can do it from anywhere on the field.
Rosenzweig with a couple. Team Glenn with a 5-1 advantage. The top 10 at the moment. So in this game, obviously, you're looking for players who have a blue or purple color next to their names. The chance for them to advance is now.
Any one of these players, as they are moving, they can go up or down. It's all about whether they're having positive individual statistics on the field or negative. Everything counts and matters here in Athletes Unlimited, whether it's a turnover, an assist, a draw control.
Players receiving points based on how their team performs and how they perform individually. It's a compressed season, an exciting one. We play it all. The total of 24 games in 4 weekends. Katie Glenn marching back to the crease against Abby Bosco. Bosco has made a wonderful first impression in this, her rookie season. Everybody knew that she would be the kind of player who would be around the ball a lot and that the scoring system would very much be in tune with her game. But I don't know if they expected her to be this high in the leaderboard so fast.
You know, it's the first time to have a defender all the way up there, but she's all over the field. She causes turnovers. She's not a defender who's unwilling to take a risk. She's at the draw circle, so she has the opportunity to win draw controls. Putting yourself in a position to help the team, I think, is what's best for her.
Bosco on this run-up field drops it for Kent. Inside flash, Garrett, one more off. Tolman! Bang, and that's the end of a 5-goal unanswered run.
Quick transition, straight from the timeout at the draw control. Bosco comes in hard. We saw a little bit of confusion for Team Glenn. Bosco pushing the ball in fast break fashion, hitting Kent. One more. The more you move the ball, the tougher it is for defense. They all went to Molly Garrett inside. We see everybody collapsing and crashing on her. That leaves Ostholmen down low. She was able to get the ball quickly, have a couple quick little fakes. That's her home down on that crease. She just has the ability to finish well there, in addition to inside.
Ostholmen with goals in 5 of her last 7 overall. It's a 5-2 advantage. Team Glenn looking for those 20 points for the quarter win. Everybody loves to rep Athletes Unlimited. You can too. Be sure to check out all the great gear, including the new Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse player name and number t-shirts. Go to shop.auprosports.com and get yours today. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor upstairs. Maria Tribalpiece is your sideline reporter. As once again, we have a challenge, a review being conducted.
As Molly Garrett dishes this ball to Alex Ostholmen, if both of her feet are behind that goal line extended before she releases that ball, then it would be a 2-point goal.
It almost looked there as if she stepped on the line, goal line extended. Have a look at her right foot.
The ruling on the field stands. It's 1 goal, 1-point goal.
Just the 1-point strike after the review for Ostholmen. So she and Charlotte North have bookended the tallies around the 5 points unanswered for Team Glenn. 5-2 for the gang in purple. This is game 23 of 24. One more left. Apuzzo and Marino, as usual, ending the week. Their Sunday showdown will come your way, 3:30 Eastern on ESPN+. And at the end of that one, once the MVP voting has been tabulated, the top 4 will medal. We'll have an individual champion. Taylor Marino hoping to repeat with a gold medal. Ball down here. They fight for the draw control. McCone down in a heap. And off the scoop, it comes up for Katrina Geiger. Veteran defender, 8 in the blue. Played with Mastriani and Colson and Glynn in weeks 1, 2, and 3, and now winds up this week with Team Bosco. Katrina told us at the outset of the season that this was likely to be her last time as a professional on the field, pondering retirement.
Katrina is one of those players who just understands what it takes to be a defender. She's played just about every position during her career, 6 years at Loyola.
North to the interior, double teamed, knocked down, and back comes Glynn. All that without a foul. Kenzie Kent, though, riding hard, forces the turnover. As we're in the final minute of the opening quarter, those 20 points available look like they're headed to Team Glynn. Off this restart, Bosco in blue. Garrett straight away, who played collegiately at Michigan, former 3-time captain of the Wolverines. North hesitates. 2-person game with Kent off the screen. Charlotte has Maraid Durkin hung up, sneaks and scores! Charlotte North.
Joe, I have a feeling this was a 2-point goal potentially. Charlotte North, Kenzie Kent, both of them have the ability to be sneaky from the X position that's right behind the goal. And in my mind, as I watch this replay, there's no question. Her right foot is well behind that goal line extended, and she just manages to get her arms up and away from her body. That's the ability that you have with your stick. If it has a lot of hold, you can keep the ball in there. It's just an extension of the arms, really reach and snap. And this should be a 2-pointer.
The officials once again are huddling up, having a conference. This is going to be awarded as just a 1-point goal for Charlotte North. Now the question is, will it be challenged? Team Bosco facilitator is Rachel Hillhouse in her first year with Athletes Unlimited, and they're going to let it stand as is. Team Bosco has had control of the last 3 draws. Charlotte North, the 2 goals. This one, just a single, has made it 5-3. Last possession time of the quarter, where the shot clock turned off. Kent doubled rudely on the sideline. Hawkins likewise bumped by McCone as it gets physical right in front of the benches.
And Abby Bosco initially with that caused turnover, and then another caused turnover, back and forth. There's not a lot of space given to the players with the ball. So oftentimes we see 2 players match up right as soon as the ball is going to be coming from inbounds.
Once again, the officials will get things sorted out. Restart for Lindsey McComb with the ball and 11 seconds left. Team Bosco would need a 2-point tally to tie and force a carryover of those 20 points that are available. 20 points per quarter, 45 points for everybody on your roster when you win the game. Sammy Jo Tracy working in against O'Donnell. McCone on the hop. Final 2 seconds. Not enough time for Ostholman, so Team Glynn in purple takes down the 20 points, a 5-3 lead after 1.
Joe, we can already see after this first quarter, a lot of emotions on the field. The players understand this is their last game, their final chance to help those captains move up the leaderboard. They're leaving it all out on the field.
Plenty of folks cheering them on in the stands here in Sparks, Maryland. Just in case you need a little more proof, O'Donnell and the gang playing a little ring around the rosy. 5-3 for Team Glynn.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
Third, the throw home, got her! Enough for Hens to be there.
That's right. We are fans too.
5-3, the advantage for Team Glenn today. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, all presented by Tops. An appreciative lacrosse faithful here at USA Lacrosse HQ. Libby Rosenzweig with a couple of goals, one of them a two-pointer, helping Team Glenn earn those 20 points in the opening frame. Courtney, it's time to introduce the 2023 all-defensive team. 4 very, very sound defenders who you'd love to be protecting your goalie.
Abby Bosco, Courtney Taylor, both wearing blue today. Wakefield and Colson we'll see later on. Wakefield and Colson, when you look at their style, very similar. They like to be on the hands of their players, causing a lot of turnovers. Abby Bosco, Courtney Taylor, they do take a bit more risks, and it proves fruitful for them. All 4 of them excited to watch on the field, and I think it could be any one of them that comes up with that Defensive Player of the Year award.
Which will be voted upon and has been voted upon by the players and by members of the Unlimited Club as well, as Bosco returns to the field. Courtney, we were itemizing her talents earlier. She's always around the ball. This Courtney is a ball hawk who is known to create turnovers.
You know, she likes to bait her attackers. Oftentimes she goes for that over-the-head check or the trail check. Sometimes it works, sometimes you get burned by it, but that's the whole point of Athletes Unlimited. Be willing to take a risk. Your teammates have your back, and then if that cause turnover works out, look at that, you just got a plus 14.
Courtney Taylor, Abby Bosco getting geared up for the resumption of play. Taylor, who spent 3 weeks in Europe before this season began. Wonder where she's headed next. Second quarter about to unfold, just past the bottom of the hour. Joe and Courtney up top. Maria Tribal piece on the sidelines for you. A shout out of thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew for their efforts. Another early game, a 1 p.m. Eastern start. As we wait for the show to resume, Lindsay McCone getting a lion's share of the draws. Opposite of Libby Rosenzweig, who has so swiftly taken command of the draw circle in this her first season as a pro. McCone is in her third, alternating possession. This will belong to Bosco, and the captain takes it off the turf. We move into quarter 2. We play 10-minute quarters in Athletes Unlimited. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. Sammy Jo Tracy awaits. Sammy Jo, who referenced Katrina Dowd as one of her mentors. Griffin's shot is high. Boy, Dowd could handle a stick. Fantastically creative. On a speed dodge. Good save, Glenn, to rob Charlotte North. 5 more points for Katie Glenn. Glenn hoping to medal, as she did in year 1. Johansson emerges with a loose ball, and she'll stretch her legs to the offensive end.
Amanda Johansson just bobbed and weaved through 3 riding attackers. She has such long strides. It's fun to watch her in the open field. She probably would have taken that in a little further if they would have had numbers. The fact that they didn't decide to slow things down, smart, especially with the lead.
Fortunato maneuvers wide. Back behind to Rosenzweig, who will graduate from Loyola in December. The feed there for Johansson. Score! Amanda Johansson.
A picture-perfect slow break for Team Glenn. When the ball got around to X with Libby Rosenzweig, you see her eyes are up. Just the pick inside from O'Donnell, cutting off of those heels. Little X cut. Amanda Johansson in a redirect. It wasn't a whole lot on that. Anytime you take a shot in tight, it's just all about placement, not necessarily power.
Amanda, who has a sports science degree, she's always interested in fitness and nutrition. She gets the quick stick goal right there. We remind you that Athletes Unlimited and Tops have unveiled the first ever set of trading cards featuring all 4 Athletes Unlimited sports combined into one set. It's a 200-card base set. It features 185 athletes from the 2022 seasons. They're available at major retailers such as Target, Barnes & Noble, hobby shops, and through Topps.com and Fanatics.com. Amanda Johansson had a couple of goals against Team Apuzo on Saturday. She strikes here with a first salvo in the second quarter. Team Glenn in purple doubling up Team Bosco. McCone gets this draw. She beat Haley Warden there. Geiger looking ahead, lofting this one to Erica Evans, Canadian-born rookie who has scored extremely well in the second half of the season. Kenzie Kent has done that from cover to cover. She was a #1 overall draft pick in week 3, the #2 pick in week 4. She finds North for a jumper here. Rejected again, Glenn on the short side. Charlotte North, 88 in the blue, definitely in a shooting mood today.
You see that connection between Kenzie Kent and Charlotte. They're always looking out for one another. That was in and around the crease. As soon as Kent drew the double, she knew that Charlotte would be waiting on the opposite side of that crease.
I know that Kenzie Kent has scored a lot of goals this season, but I always envision her as a feeder, as a setup person, and I would think she would work extremely well with the likes of Charlotte North.
You know, she does both so incredibly equally. It's just fun to watch her. I feel like she floats and skates on the field.
Some players just have that bounce. Ramsey ran right into a double team. Evans helping with the cause turnover there. And transition now for Bosco in blue. Griffin running for cover. Sees Sammy Joe Tracy as the outlet. North will walk it away from Mairead Durkin. Durkin, who found out she was drafted into Athletes Unlimited while she was taking a cyber intelligence exam. North fires. There's another stop for Glenn. Exactly what the doctor ordered for Katie Glenn. She's trying to medal today. The more saves she makes, the better, although a turnover wouldn't help her. Katie Glenn's save total already at 6. When you commit a turnover in Athletes Unlimited, it's a -10.
And unfortunately, that's been the second one for Cookie Carr in transition as she's looking to clear the ball. While she personally may not be in the hunt for one of those medals, all that matters at this point is helping Katie Glenn keep one of those top spots, one of those top 4 positions, so she can have a medal to her name.
Sammy Joe Tracy, a winding road away from Cookie there. Garrett maneuvers in. Molly lost her plant foot there for a second. Good recovery and a better check. Cookie Carr right on the hands. Shot clock down to 23. Alex Ost-Holman on the move. North backpedals away from Haley Warden. No shooting room there for the grade 88. Shot clock's at 10. North on the dip and dunk. That sails wide. Shot clock's at 5. Griffin drags it towards the cage. North once more. Shot clock violation. -2 for everybody in blue.
Joe, on the flip side of that, everybody wearing purple, gaining a +2, a tremendous effort. Anytime you can have a shot clock violation and you are on defense, you know you're doing something very well. You're moving as a defensive unit.
See the leaderboard left side of the screen. Marino and Apuzo to play in the nightcap, the 3:30 p.m. Eastern game. Find your favorites. The colors next to their names, that's the jersey color they're wearing this week. We had 56 players in residence,
Green card
just
is
one
issued
champion.
to purple number 83 for offsides. It's a green card, 30 seconds.
The
Release
green
the
card
ball.
assessed to Cookie Carr. Cookie, for those not familiar, when she was 5 years old, she was playing soccer against 10-year-olds, and the comment was, that's one tough little cookie out there. And she's gone by that moniker ever since. Cookie Carr, the future and now current head coach of Towson and the women's lacrosse program. Kenzie Kent working, player up here for Team Bosco.
Referees are keeping an eye on any walling in front of that goal circle. Defense can't just stand to the inside.
Sammy Jo lets it fly. She scores. Sammy Jo Tracy.
Inside work is one of Sammy Jo Tracy's bread and butters. She likes to cut inside. She's good with both hands. Very soft hands. Loves wearing the gloves for protection as she has closed the gap here for Team Bosco. Score is now 6-4.
My first tattoo, I have 2 hawks on my back, and my dad's date that he passed away, which is actually August 13th, and he's gone 10 years, which will be my last game of this season. Me and him had a goal together that I would go Division I for lacrosse, but he obviously never got me to that opportunity, but I did that, exceeded those expectations, and now I'm even exceeding them more of being here. It takes a while to believe in everything happens for a reason, but I definitely believe that, and I see a trend in my life of staying positive with all the crashing that has happened to down my journey of getting to where I am now.
Melissa says that she has that hawk on her back. It's always there, and there's always one flying in the sky for her in spirit. And right now, I'm joined by Melissa's mom, Karen. Karen, you told me that you are celebrating your husband Mark's life today. How are you doing that?
Well, with a lot of love and support, family. I had 4 of my best friends drive here today. It's hard, but we look at it as a celebration of life, and how ironic, like Mel's last day today in pros for this year. It's when her dad passed away 10 years ago.
You have a lot of people here supporting you, but you didn't know they were all coming. So tell me who's here and how surprised were you when they showed up?
So first of all, my parents, who are 85 and 84, even though the weather, everyone's watching them, brought them. Then my sister and her husband, and Uncle Bob calls Mel girl on fire. Then my cousin Craig and Katie, even though my cousins, my kids call them aunt and uncle, and that's like their second parents. They were the fun, cool parents after we lost Mr. Hawkins. A lot of friends and family, and 2 of Mel's college roommates from Vanderbilt showed up on just not knowing, and it's just really wonderful. And even my girlfriends, there's 10 of us, the ones that aren't here, they all had their shirts on today, and then they showed me pictures that they're here in spirit. We are still very blessed, even though it's hard. Oh, and God, I forgot Russell, her brother, who adores her, who supports her, and his girlfriend, and Mel's boyfriend, Alec, that flew in from Nashville. So we have a lot of love and support.
There's certainly a lot of love and support, and you have the shirts. Can you describe what's on the shirts? Who made them?
My dear friend Brooke. It's always about the hawk. There's always a hawk on the field, as Melissa says, or a hawk up in the sky, and it's been ever since he passed away. I don't care where we are, what state, where we are, there's always a hawk. So it's really something very special to us. He's always around.
You were telling me that Melissa's nickname became Hawk in college, and that was also Mark's nickname. Can you tell me the story behind that?
So Melissa likes to be called Melissa, but a lot of us call her Mel. And then when she went to Vanderbilt to play, there was a Melanie on the team, so she couldn't be called Mel. And then the Hawk it was just natural, and it grew, and everyone just calls her Hawk.
Everybody here is screaming for Hawk. How would you describe everyone in these stands? They're a little rowdy from when I've been sitting up here, right?
Yeah, we're crazy. We love her. She brings it on the field and off the field. She's probably one of the kindest people I know, other than my mother. She's got the biggest heart, and she's always the first one at practice and the last one to leave. That's just her dedication.
How proud do you think Mark would be to see her playing here at Athletes Unlimited?
He's here with us in love and spirit. It's hard, but we all know, and he was a goofball. He was such a community service person. He was known to everyone. His wake will still be the most attended wake ever. And after 8 hours, I had to turn like 300 people away. That's what, he made a difference in life, loved everyone.
Melissa is certainly making a difference just in our small time that we've got to experience with her. Karen, thank you so much for joining us here today.
You're welcome. It's a very special day. It's hard, but it's very special to have all my family and friends around me. We feel the love.
I certainly feel it here. Joe and Courtney.
Maria, we echo those comments to Karen and the family and all the friends who've made their way to Sparks, Maryland. You talked about the Hawk tattoos. Melissa has another one that says everything happens for a reason. Team Glenn working at the offensive end. Geyer's back, threatening a new keeper now in the cage. First call of the summer for Kat Buchanan, and right on cue, she made the save, subbing in for Kaylee Waters. Buchanan now running away from pressure. She came out of the circle, she went back in. The official spotting that immediately, Liz Brush saying, no, Kat, you can't do that. 6-4 if you're just tuning in favor of Team Glenn. Scoreboard 1-1 in the chase for the 20 points in the second quarter. Just spent a nice amount of time with Karen Hawkins, the mother of Melissa, who's playing defensively for Team Glenn. I thought it was interesting when I was reading some of the notes that the baseball field at Vanderbilt is named Hawkins Field.
And that's when they knew that was meant to be, despite the fact that her father passed away during the recruiting process. They said, this is the place. Vanderbilt, a field named Hawkins Field. They felt like it was meant to be.
Guaranteed that the late Mark is very, very proud. 2 minutes to go, separating us from halftime in game 1 of 2 today. This is game 23 of 24. We will crown a champion once we are finished with the Marino-Apuzzo matchup. That comes your way 3:30 Eastern on ESPN+. This is scooped towards the cage, taken out of the air by O'Donnell. Checked swiftly, though, by Sammy Jo Tracy, running for cover. Katie O'Donnell saying right into our microphones that there wasn't possession there. There should not have been a whistle exchanged.
Joe, I talked about Katie O'Donnell being incredibly vocal on the field, and you can feel that, hear it. She's the head coach at Drexel. She knows what it takes. Her voice, she lets it be heard.
And how many times would you imagine that she's had that lecture with her mom, the longtime official? She knows the rule books inside and out.
You know, anytime you have a parent or a friend as an official, you just learn so much. It's not an easy job. No position can be perfect, whether it's on the field as a player or as an official, but everyone trying to do the best job that they can. But Katie O'Donnell, head coach, I get it. You want to let your voice be heard.
Been really impressed with O'Donnell this summer. She's a terrific athlete. She separates from defenders with relative ease and has a powerful shot. I'm sure she'll factor in before too long. She scored in the opening quarter to make this one a 5-1 advantage, but since then, Team Bosco has recovered. Ostholman, North, and Tracy on the board. It's just a 2-goal deficit as Team Glenn in purple will clear with the outstanding first-year defender Detweiler in charge. Detweiler breezing into the offensive end. She'll set up 6-on-6 with 80 seconds to go in the half and 44 on the shot clock.
You know, ideally, you want to take a lot of time on this possession if you're Team Glenn. You don't want to cough the ball up, go to goal too soon. They have 30 seconds. Take as much time as possible. That way, Team Bosco doesn't have the ability to have a long scoring opportunity.
If the second quarter remains tied, it'll carry over. Those 20 will make the third quarter worth 40. Long-range drive, Buchanan snags that neatly. She looks very comfortable off the bench, subbing in for Kaylee Waters. Buchanan, former outstanding James Madison Duke. Turnover here, Geyer's back, who saw her 11-game goal-scoring streak come to an end yesterday. Ball down, out of the pack, it's Taylor getting the final possession for Team Bosco, perhaps in the last half minute of the opening half. Kenzie Kent operating against Detweiler. Skipping topside. That pass gets away from Holman, chased down by Charlotte North. 9 seconds left. North going to the cage. Beautiful moves. North lets it fly off the post. Big rebound. Marae Durkin to the sideline. And that'll do it for the opening 20 minutes. The second quarter will be level 1 apiece, so it'll carry over to be a 40-point third quarter.
Joe, everybody battling this out, despite the fact that quarter 2 points are going to carry over to the third. Every player knowing and understanding that the leaderboard matters. Every single spot, not just the top 4, but all the players all the way down through all 56, as a portion of their bonuses goes to their causes. So everyone wanting to leave it out on the field. This is their very last game here in season 3.
As the players will head off to the dressing room, get some shade. Another 90-plus degree day here in Sparks, Maryland. Team Glenn has the advantage by 2, after 2. The lead goal provided by Amanda Johansson. It was the early strike of the second quarter. Sammy Jo Tracy would respond, a player up for Team Bosco, to bring the count to 6-4 after 20 minutes. We can share time now. Maria Trival-Peace has Katie Glenn standing by.
Katie, your team's up at the half. What did you like from them?
Yeah, everyone's playing great. We're playing together. I think we had a real nice spark in the first quarter, so got to just keep trying, going for that, keep pushing it, and just have fun together.
You told me before the game that you wanted to have fun. Are you having fun in this last game for you of Athletes Unlimited this season?
Yeah, for sure. Having so much fun. I mean, it's always just so grateful to be here and be able to still play lacrosse. So, I mean, another day of lacrosse is fun for me.
It's certainly hot out there. How do you manage that, especially as a keeper?
I think being so locked in the game, you don't even notice the heat.
I can't say the same. I'm dying out here. You tied that second quarter. What do you want to do in the second half to kind of regroup?
Yeah, I think just coming out like we did in the first quarter and just keep pushing it and playing our game and playing together as a team.
Katie, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Joe?
Katie Glenn performing well. The higher she ranks on the ultimate leaderboard, the chance for a medal, the chance for a greater bonus for all the players who are climbing on the leaderboard. As we are halfway home in this, the penultimate game of the 2023 season, Sammy Jo Tracy has struck. Team Glenn has the advantage. We've got you back for halftime festivities in a moment.
There's power in my voice.
When I use it.
To speak up for a cause.
To encourage the person next to me.
To help us hear the voiceless.
To represent my people.
To shine a light on the truth.
To show others what is possible.
To change the course of history.
To remind you of the power in yours.
There is power in your voice.
But only when you use it.
to be there.
That's right. We are fans too.
We have rolled right through the opening 20 minutes in the second to last game of the Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 3. Team Glenn, Team Bosco cooling off at halftime here in Sparks, Maryland. Courtney, there have been many outstanding performances over the last 4 weeks, and a bunch of them have been turned in by top-flight rookies.
Every single rookie on this field has stepped up. Abby Bosco being one of the main ones. She is a magnet for the ball in her stick, whether causing turnovers by being aware of her surroundings or a ground ball magnet. I just love to watch her good body defense as she is all over the field.
Katie Detweiler, another ball hawk on the defensive end.
You know, she's one of the just defensive players who is all over the hands of her attackers, not afraid of a big-time matchup. We see her against Sama Puzo here. She's got quick feet, doesn't give space. That's a key for her defensively as she causes a lot of turnovers as well.
And then, at the offensive end, two-way midfielder, Amy Moreau. Moreau prides herself on defense, but she can turn defense quickly into offense.
She does a lot of the dirty work on the field, and what I mean by that is she starts the offense with her speed in the midfield. However, if you look at her, if there's a lane to cage, she will go to goal. She's physically tough on the field, but she knows how to score as well. She's an exciting and dominant player to watch.
Last but not least of the fabulous freshman, Libby Rosenzweig's been tremendous at the draw.
The draw control is one of Libby's best parts of her game. She has the ability to put the ball anywhere to those on the circle as well as herself, but her knack for scoring goals, especially in a fancy way, is what also separates her.
Hang in there with us, lacrosse fans. More work to be done at the half. When we return, we'll provide some details on the final game of the season, a preview of Team Apuzzo and Team Marino, right after these messages. All is quiet at the moment here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Team Glenn and Team Bosco have run half of their race today with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. Folks, coming up 3:30 Eastern on ESPN+. For the 6th consecutive week, the closing contest on the schedule pits Team Apuzzo against Team Marino. Look at the points leaderboard breakdown. Apuzzo has won 4 of their 6 straight up all time. Both captains have played lights out against each other. This game should be, for all the marbles, the eventual Athletes Unlimited champion of 2023 should be one of these two. Check it out at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN+. Folks, stay right there with us. We have one more segment to share at halftime. When we return, we'll check out the best of the best highlights from the opening 2 quarters in Sparks, Maryland.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
Third, the throw home. Got her! Enough for Hens to be there.
That's right. We are fans too.
I am the women's manager of IL Women, and I'm so glad that you're all here.
There's power in my voice.
When I use it.
To speak up for a cause.
To encourage the person next to me.
To help us hear the voiceless.
To represent my people.
To shine a light on the truth.
To show others what is possible.
To change the course of history.
To remind you of the power in yours.
There is power in your voice.
But only when you use it.
We have played 20 minutes today. Another hot day in Sparks, Maryland at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Team Glenn had the early advantage of 5-3 in the opening 10. The second 10 level at 1 apiece, so the third quarter will be worth 40 for whomever wins the frame. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. Court's a 5-time national champion at Maryland. Courtney, judging by what you've seen through the opening half, do you get the sense that the players know this is the last day, it's time to empty the tank?
Oh, absolutely. Every single ground ball, they're diving for at this point. They, possession-wise, you can tell, don't want to cough that ball up, but defense is making it very difficult for them.
The higher you climb on the leaderboard, the more you get with respect to your bonus money. Charlotte North shooting money in the opening quarter. She came out very much of the mindset that she was going to take over and strike early.
Charlotte North doing everything she can to keep her team in this game. The players in blue for Team Bosco relying on Charlotte North. She's had 11 of their 15 shots, and you can see why she is just so dominant in beating her one-on-one matchups. Livy Rosenzweig doesn't just get the draw for her team. It's all about possession, yes, but you got to get to the cage. 2 back-to-back righty sweeps. Rosenzweig, Fortunato. Rosenzweig again, this time taking 4 up, 4 back at X. And then O'Donnell showcasing that she can do everything on the defensive end of the field all the way down to having some offensive firepower. She scored a goal from end to end, and then Katie Glynn kind of took over in net.
Katie Glynn, steady Eddie, plays deep in the cage, waits for the ball to come to her, and then explosively reacts. She was very strong in the opening 2 quarters. Livy Rosenzweig had her first career 2-point goal, but Courtney, look at the draw controls. It's very rare to see her not on top for her team.
You know, we're seeing something different from Team Glynn. They're not over-tiring Livy Rosenzweig. They're taking turns between she and Haley Warden, and I think that's smart. At this point, you don't want to have anybody too tired on the field, and I guarantee she will come back to that draw circle, especially as the game counts down.
We are halfway home, 20 minutes left in regulation. Game 23 of 24 on the day we do crown the champion in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. We are headed for the start of the third. 6-4 in favor of Team Glynn. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse today presented by Tops, originating from USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. Team Glynn wearing the purple jumped out to the 5-3 advantage after the opening 10 minutes, took those 20 points home. The two teams tied at 1 in the second, so as a result, the third quarter is worth 40 today. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor looking at the leaderboard up to the minute.
Joe, every single thing that you do on the field matters. Only those players in purple and blue are going to have the opportunity to move up or down because they are currently playing. But the higher that you finish, the more bonus points for placement for each player individually. But obviously they want to help anybody on their team as much as possible with quarter wins and that overall win, because that's where you get some big-time points.
Officials ready to let them go in the third quarter. A 6-4 advantage for the team dressed in purple. Team Glynn sending Warden to the draw circle, ball bounding around, and Haley will come up with the scoop, but she lost it immediately. Bosco hunting for the loose ball. Same for McCone. Team Bosco in blue. Maria Trivalpiece had the chance to chat with Abby.
Abby Bosco told me that her team took a little bit to get going defensively, but she likes the way that they're flowing now. She said, offensively, we're getting good looks. We just need to capitalize. I also asked her about the grittiness of the play in the first half, and she said, we all know that it's the last day. You're just getting to see how competitive and passionate we are about this sport.
Maria, it was a very physical opening 20 minutes. A lot of players spent time down on the turf. North off the split dodge, getting topside here. Great feed inside. Sammy Joe did not convert that one. Glynn kicked out a foot. North in a spot of bother. She's doubled over inside the 8-meter key. As Team Glynn in purple has 20 seconds to clear the midline. O'Donnell going to drive past Whiteman. Whiteman on her way to medical school. 72 in the blue, has been studying for the MedCats all the while she's been a pro lacrosse player. Have a peek at the leaderboard. You're seeing all 56 players and where they stand. The top 4 today will be medalists. There'll be a Defender of the Year, a Teammate of the Year will be honored. O'Donnell on the go. And as Courtney and I have been mentioning from time to time, the higher you place on the leaderboard, the better you do with respect to your bonus pool money, and that, of course, helps so much with the players and their charitable causes. Outside Johansson. Peeking over the top on Griffin. Here comes the double help. Fortunato inside, she scores! beating Kaylee Waters, who's returned to the goal crease for Team Bosco. Fortunato with her second on the day.
Johansson being that initiator from the top. We're seeing a different look than what we've seen in the first half. Double team coming hard, and then Fortunato just slipping right through. What I like was she didn't catch the ball, turn and fire right away. She caught the ball, she knew pressure was gonna be coming off of those adjacent slides. She protected her stick through it, had a nice little touch before finishing with a quick shot.
Back-to-back 2-goal games for Courtney. She's one of the very select few in Athletes Unlimited lacrosse history who has a 5-goal game on her resume. Folks, if you're looking to win a cool piece of Athletes Unlimited lacrosse memorabilia, here's your chance. It's the opportunity to win an autographed ball from Charlotte North and Sam Apuzzo. Go to auprosports.com/sweepstakes for the rules, regulations, and your chance to win today. Fortunato lifting Team Glen to the 1-0 lead. A little less than 2 minutes into this third quarter. The 1-0 advantage, the chase for those 40 points, which carried over from the second. Bosco to Kent. Kent to the cooker. Outside for North. Beautiful moves. She scores! Charlotte North has the hat trick.
Team Bosco, they just will not get far from Team Glen. Whenever you stop a team from going on a large run, you're still in the hunt to come out with that overall win. You see that big windup, and that's what sold her defender, Mairead Durkin, from reaching for this ball. She thought a shot was coming right there, and Charlotte North said, nope, I'm gonna change directions on you quickly. Incredibly smart, big windup, boom, change it up. Nice shot on the run. No slide coming from that left side, so Charlotte knows when and where any of those players are coming from because they're sending hard doubles, triple teams to her normally.
12th game of the season for North. She has a hat trick or better in 6 of them. Getting the better there of Katie Glenn, making this a 2-point game, 1-1 in the third. Rosenzweig back to the draw circle against McComb. Livy pops this one cleanly to Amanda Johansson. She'll find O'Donnell, and Team Glen will settle in. Athletes Unlimited, we play the game 10-on-10. The nets are 80 yards apart. The rosters are 14 players long. Ball down, possession for Team Glen, and Rosenzweig sees the outlet of O'Donnell. Shot clock's at 38, 2.5 minutes into the third. We remind you, Team Marino and Team Apuzzo will conclude matters this summer in Athletes Unlimited, a 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time start. You can see that on ESPN+. Fortunato wanders in, fakes the flip to Geyersbach, and sends it high on Waters. Closest to the ball, Warren, when it leaves on a shot, gets possession, so this stays with Glenn. 8 seconds to shoot. Rosenzweig, double teamed. Nice takeaway check by Evans. Evans on the fly, looking for the fast break. Evans, feed it to North, great catch. Submarine, she scores! The 4th goal on the day for Charlotte North is a beauty.
Answering back and forth. Team Bosco with the cause turnover. Courtney Taylor, Erica Evans showcasing her speed. She's such a great two-way midfielder. She's got vision. Mairead Durkin almost got a stick on that last one, but Charlotte North able to scoop up this ground ball. Look at the stick work. Coming up with that ground ball, immediately turning, putting herself in a great position to shoot that ball.
North, you could see in the aftermath that stick coming up high towards her face. Charlotte getting things adjusted. North now reaches the 30-goal plateau. With her 4th on the day, she leads the league in goals. Now 3 better than the idle Sam Apuzzo, who will play in the 3:30 game. And all of a sudden, this is another 1-point battle. Almost half of the games this summer have been settled by just 1 point.
You know, I think that's a credit to the captains as they draft the teams each and every week. Every week they get better and better, more well-rounded. They're able to see who benefits where, how the team will look essentially when they put them together.
North's last 2 separated by just 68 seconds. And now Bosco has the ball. Team Bosco again in blue. Looking for the equalizer, Sammy Jo Tracy. McCone will walk in. Ramsey keeping tabs on her. Two-person game with Tracy. Lindsay flipped that one to herself as Kenzie Kent was guarded closely by Detweiler. Halfway through the shot clock. Griffin on the dead run. Durkin there, floats that inside. It's a turnover. Easy pickings for Katie Glynn. Glynn, who began the day among the top 4 on the leaderboard. Those 4 all will receive medals. The gold medalist will be the individual champion, Taylor Marino, edging Sam Apuzzo last year, and those two are very much in the race again this afternoon. Just shy of the midway mark in the third quarter, which is led by Team Bosco 2-1.
Yellow card is issued to number 10, blue, for offsides. It is a green card, 30-second releasable play.
Green card against Kenzie Kent. Player up now for Team Glynn in purple.
You know, this is a big opportunity, capitalizing when you have an extra player on the field. Should make it easier to score. It's all about finding that open player, let the ball do the work, have some cuts inside.
Fortunato sightseeing on the outside with Rosenzweig. Courtney thought about the 2. Levy steps in underneath. Denied there by Waters. Crease violation gives the ball back to Bosco. Off and running, their rookie captain. Abby, who's been terrific with ground balls and draw controls and cause turnovers. It's the reason why she's possibly the first defender to ever medal in Athletes Unlimited.
You know, anytime you put yourself around the ball as much as she does, you just have an immediate impact on the field. And her team definitely feels her presence on the offensive end, because oftentimes she's doing that one-man clear.
North with a sizzler. She has 5. Charlotte North very close to a 2-point tally there.
Now, oftentimes on the field, when you have the hot hand, I mentioned that she had a majority of the shots for her team. You just know when it sits well into your stick. And this one is most definitely behind that line yet again. Not sure down on the field. I believe they did call it a 2-point goal. So Charlotte North, another 2-point, actually the first one they
challenge for the last goal.
Overview, this time they are looking to see whether or not it was a 2-point. We just saw a quick replay.
Team Glynn facilitator is Amber Hill. Amber's in her second year as a facilitator. We will remember Amber as a goalie in Athletes Unlimited in the inaugural season. Amber Hill, the longtime captain of the Haudenosaunee Nationals. Let's see if North is completely behind the key here. Ball out.
So the ball was out of her stick before that left foot landed. From that angle that we saw, no question that it's a goal. I know earlier we talked about it, but there was no captain's challenge. So this would be their second captain's challenge of the game. They have no more to use throughout this entire match.
The ruling on the
North
field
from a
is
distance
confirmed.
there.
It is a 2-point goal.
Lynn Bowers making the assessment. We need to step away. Team Bosco has the advantage now thanks to the 2-point strike. North with a natural hat trick in this third quarter. Plenty of Charlotte North fans in the stands for very good reason. She has helped fuel Team Bosco's rally. It's a 4-1 advantage now in the third as Charlotte has the natural hat trick in this third frame. She's gone back to back to back, and the last of which is worth 2 points for the team and 16 for her on the leaderboard. It's 8-7 now in the third quarter for Team Bosco. Courtney, we can show how Charlotte has worked through seamlessly in this third.
You know, Charlotte, whether she's dodging from X, trying to mix that defender up, or releasing some quick shots from those high elbow positions, she just has a knack for scoring goals. She's well placing her shots. She's able to do it in a variety of fashions, which makes it tough for the defense to follow.
Charlotte North joining us on the field. Charlotte, 5 goals already. What's been the key?
I think we're moving the ball well. We're pushing transition. Our draw team has been amazing all week long, and you see Abby Bosco, Lindsay, and the rest of them coming up with ground balls, but pushing the pace, and that's huge to get an unsettled defense, and we want to continue to do that.
Charlotte, how do you deal with the physical play yet still manage to score 5 goals?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to keep your head down, try to focus on the game plan, you know, and toughen up through it, I guess.
Charlotte, we're about to ride your microphone for a while, so you're in charge here.
Sounds good.
Speak up.
Yeah, Kens. Go, Kens. You got it, Abby. Stay on it. Yeah, Kens. Cabines. Go, Cabines. Go, Kenji. Wait, no. Good hustle, good hustle.
Making sure they didn't get caught for offside there.
You know, that's a difficult part on the draw circle. Oftentimes, teams realizing when to go back and forth.
It's easy to have a good chuckle when you're at the offensive end and the defenders are sweating it out. Geyer's back on the move here. Beautiful split dodge there. Charlotte letting you know about the shot clock violation. Bosco's ball. North back to work on offense.
We've got a severe situation. Let Kenji! Kenji! Let her go! 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 Go, Kenji, go! Back to Kenji! Kenji. Yeah? Kenji, let Grace! Grace!
Griffin tried, couldn't get it to North. Sammy Joe, though, with a good scoop, keeps the offense alive.
There was 11.
And Team Bosco has asked for time.
Joe, that's a great timeout from Team Bosco. At this point, they are well in the lead here in this third quarter. Third quarter, you have the rollover from the second quarter. They want to make sure to get their game plan down pat. They're up by a goal, but in terms of the number of points for that quarter, it's 4-1.
As we focus in on Bosco and Glenn, we can remind you how the Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse leaderboard stands up to the moment. Marino and Apuzzo will play in the 3:30 game. Katie Glenn trying to secure her spot in the third place position. The top 4 receive medals.
You know, anybody in purple and blue, this third and fourth quarter, these are their last opportunities to move forward or down throughout this game. Obviously, MVP points are going to tackle a part of that. So this matters. Every single point that they do on the field has a value.
Great to see a couple of rookies, Bosco and Detweiler, in that top 10. As you break down the numbers between Marino and Apuzzo, you can see that the difference for Taylor definitely resides in the stat points this summer.
You know, she does so much in goal, causing turnovers, making saves. Obviously, she doesn't have as many win points as Sam Apuzzo. She's earned a lot of MVP points, but there's nobody higher than Sam. She just manages to come up with MVP 1, 2, or 3 just about every game.
And it's not like Apuzzo is a slouch in the stat department. She's second in goals. She leads the league in assists. It's been amazing to watch Marino add up in that category. Those two will battle 3:30 Eastern on ESPN+, the final game of this Athletes Unlimited season. Glenn makes the stab on Kenzie Kent. Team Glenn in the purple, trailing in this third quarter, which has 2.5 left in it, 4 points to 1. This is the carryover third, so there are 40 points on the line and look like they are earmarked for the team in blue, thanks to a Charlotte North eruption. Johansson to O'Donnell against McCone. Fortunato likes to attack from this flank. She'll do so against Bosco. Geyer's back, relatively quiet today. Stick check there by Geiger, forced the turnover. Katrina Geiger off and running. Geiger chased down by Amanda Johansson, tracked along the sideline. Molly Garrett there to provide the outlet. The former barista, Molly Garrett, who loves coffee so much. North one away from tying her single game goal scoring record, one she shares with Nicole Levy at 6. Charlotte had 6 a season ago against Team Johansson. Levy authored her 6-goal game in week 2 of this campaign. What will North do next? Thought about the 2, gets underneath, bulldozes to the cage, shoveled that one wide.
And this is going to be a hold against the defense of Team Glenn. Charlotte North powering through her defender, Katie Detweiler. Katie Detweiler doing everything she can to keep her from the goal. And as we watch right here, they got a bit tied up, so Charlotte North is going to have a free position right from that center hash.
Use a lasso the next time. Fire and score! A half a dozen for North. She's tied the record.
We talked about Charlotte North, Kenzie Kent being those X factors for Team Bosco. The wind-up, the power, the sheer velocity of her shots. She has such a whip in that stick. It's 9-7. The score is still fairly close, but it has been all Team Bosco, or shall I just say, all Charlotte North.
North with tallies in 11 of 12 games this season. As you can tell, bottom of the screen, she has tied the record. She co-holds with Nicole Levy and Kylie Ohlmiller. Ohlmiller, who fashioned 6 earlier in this week's action, is also on the hook for that record. Ohlmiller, who will play in the second game of the doubleheader. Ohlmiller, in fact, has 3 straight hat tricks. It's the double hat trick for North. Ball down. Kenzie Kent emerging with the ground ball in the final minute of this third quarter. Team Bosco soon to bank the carryover. 40 points for everybody on the roster, all helping to climb up the leaderboard. The higher you go, the better your bonus money will be, the more you'll help contribute to your charitable cause. Sammy Jo Tracy operating with 30 seconds left and the shot clock turned off.
You know, Team Bosco doesn't necessarily need another goal, but they want to try and get one before this third quarter winds down.
Kent on the operation. 13 seconds. That sidewinder sails wide from Griffin. It's a caused turnover there, plus 14 for Katie Glynn, that was easy as you please, just running out the end line. As we are done with quarter three, the Charlotte North explosion leads Team Bosco to take down the 40 points.
5 points from Charlotte, propelling that forward off of 4 goals. One being a 2-pointer. She just took things over. They were down 7-4 at the start of this third quarter. Charlotte doing what she needs to. I talk about her being that generational talent, and you can see why. Crafty moves, big-time goal scorer, such a drive and passion for the game.
One last kick at the can for these squads, their final game together. High fives and handshakes down the stretch. A game dominated by Charlotte North. How will it turn out? The fourth, straight ahead.
Third, the throw home. Got her! Enough for Hens to be there.
That's right. We are fans too.
Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN is sponsored by Tops and by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact. Friends and family having a great time in the stands. Salute to all the faithful who've turned out to USA Lacrosse headquarters in this summer of 2023. Team Bosco on a major run in the third quarter. Driven by Charlotte North, they outpoint Team Glynn 5-1, so they bagged the 40. That was the carryover for the second frame that was level. And as a result, with 10 minutes to play, it's 9-7 for Team Bosco. Throughout this summer, players have been wearing microphones for us. Melissa Hawkins doing so today into the game with Air National Guard.
With the black shorts, it'd be weird. Well, so that's all my mom's friends, and they surprised her today. Yeah. No, my dad's gone 10 years today, so they all came and surprised her with the shirts for my game. Yeah, it was so sweet. But I think the shift was good. I was just holding because Det was right there. I didn't want that little dump. But, oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, someone play defense, please, with me. Yeah, with you, Ram. Yeah, got low. Yep, I'm coming. Ah! Nice, Court. Yeah, with you, Ram. Where? Yeah, more.
Melissa performing today in front of her mom, Karen. You heard her discuss her late to father, Mark. Melissa says it's always key to be patient, be optimistic. She exceeded expectations to get to the pros, and she and her family an emotional day today on the 10-year passing of her dad. Trying to rally back and get a win for the Hawkins friends and family. Trailing by 2 with 10 minutes to go in the final game of the season for these two squads. Team Marino and Team Apuzzo getting warmed up for the 3:30 p.m. Eastern time start that you can see on ESPN Plus, the game that is likely to determine our overall champion. Maria Tribal piece was around the huddles after 3 quarters.
It's very hot down here, but if you were just sitting in on the Team Bosco huddle like I was, Joe, you would have not realized it because they were so fired up. They're really aware of the quarters. They said, this is kind of where we dropped off yesterday. Let's not do that today. There's a lot of cheers, especially some motivational words from Kaylee Waters, and they're locked in for this fourth quarter.
Waters is definitely somebody who can pump you up. She wears her heart on her sleeve. Back behind the cage at Charlotte North. North occupied with Detweiler. Charlotte already a fantastic performance. Glenn able to make the stop there. Charlotte North has scored 6 goals today, tying the record that she co-holds with Nicole Levy and Kylie Oldmiller. Johansson speeds down, feed it inside to Fortunato, who was back to the goal and in no inclination to shoot it there.
When I look at Team Glenn, the biggest things that stand out to me, they have 14 shots compared to Team Bosco's 23. You have to want to shoot the ball in order to score, so the more number of shots that you have, just one of them potentially falling.
Tough catch inside for Rosenzweig, 20 seconds to shoot. Livy has control of the ball, an outstanding goal scorer, setup player, and draw specialist. Geyer's back. Feed it inside, that's pretty, just shoveled wide. Johansson discouraged there, she had a good look on Waters. Shot clock's at 5. Rosenzweig on her way down, put it off the outside of the goal. There is a card coming up here. With a defender down on the deck, it could be a dangerous follow through.
Looks like Courtney Taylor down on the
Dangerous
ground is Livy
foul through on
Rosenzweig.
number 54 purple. It is a 1-minute releasable
Has
penalty.
jogged off the field for her 1-minute releasable penalty.
Courtney just getting back up to her knees now, receiving attention from the athletic trainers. Rosenzweig has a seat in the sin bin. Courtney Taylor, outstanding defender, named to the all-defensive team this summer. She factors in as well on the overall leaderboard. You see her ranking 8th at the moment. The top 4 will medal. The higher you drive on the leaderboard, the better you do from a bonus standpoint.
When you look at all of the players in blue, their game on Thursday, a 1-goal loss to Apuzzo, a 1-goal loss yesterday to Team Marino, yet they still have 3 players atop the leaderboard. Super impressive when you consider what they're able to do on the field. They were just able to come up with a 2-quarter win, that second quarter pushing into that third, so 40 points, again, being awarded to those players.
They were dabbing at the face of Courtney Taylor. She's up, as you can tell, and making her way to the sidelines with the athletic trainers, who are all provided by MedStar Health. Here's the aftermath of it. Bonk. Ow.
Yeah, that's a card every time. Rosenzweig, you could tell she wanted to get her arms around that defensive player. That's how you avoid making contact. Defense, they're allowed to be in their positioning anytime you're going to follow through. That's on the shooter.
Leads to a little bit of a bloody beak for Courtney Taylor. She's in good spirits, though, as she made her way to the sideline. Folks, checking out the best in the business with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. This is season 3. The inaugural champion back in 2021, Taylor Cummings, a former Maryland great, Tewaaraton Award winner. Netminder Taylor Marino won the gold medal a season ago as a rookie for her fabulous work. Likely to set another single-season saves record today as Marino when she duels Sam Apuzzo's squad at 3:30 Eastern. Those two at the very top of the leaderboard, gunning to be the only individual champion with Athletes Unlimited. 56 players in residence, 57 when you include Haley Radigan, who's been inactive the last 3 weeks due to injury. Sharp angle McCone, that rattles the framing out. Later today, they will inscribe the champion's name into the Book of Unlimited, and then down the road, all 57 players who participated in 2023. All the while, championship season number 4 of Athletes Unlimited softball revolves in Rosemont, Illinois. 2 more weeks to go there. Sharp angle, Evans on the delivery. Bosco's in the double figures.
Erica Evans, she was waiting a long time at that low left elbow. Erica Evans, a player, won a national championship at the University of Maryland. Her box skills coming in handy, especially in this player up opportunity. This is a much bigger goal than what she's used to seeing in those instances, but quality placement, nevertheless, extra player goal, and they have just extended their lead by 3.
Goals in 8 of her last 11 games for Erica Evans, who always fancied herself as an Olympic ice hockey player for Team Canada. You mentioned her box lacrosse skills indoors, just outstanding. Friends, you can get in the game by joining the Unlimited Club. You vote on game MVPs, enjoy exclusive events, contribute 10% to the player bonus pool, and more. Costs you $20 a year. Sign up now at auprosports.com/membership. 6 unanswered points for Team Bosco, erasing what was a 7-4 deficit. Draw circle we go. Rosenzweig lost that one to McCone. Lindsay, the co-chair of the Player Executive Committee. The athletes are the leaders. They're the decision makers in Athletes Unlimited. Sammy Joe Tracy takes this handoff. Cradling in against Mairead Durkin. Final 6:40 of the season for these two squads. One more game to come. Once we are through, we'll get set for Marino and Apuzzo, starting at 3:30. North, her next tally will set a record for goals in a single game should she get one against Katie Glynn. Measured by O'Donnell. North drawing a double team away from Johansson. Charlotte on the split, rolls back. Slides through. Cookie Carr put the sandwich on with O'Donnell and sent North crashing to the field. Clearing time for Team Glynn in purple.
Now, Joe, Team Glynn was successful early on in the game when they were sending those quick doubles to Charlotte North, because if you leave her to the one-on-one matchup, that's where it's been difficult for them defensively to handle.
Players continue to shuffle on the leaderboard. You see that left side of the screen. The colors to the left of their names, the jerseys they're wearing in this, the final week of the season. 4 weeks, different captains every Monday, a captain's draft, different squads. Chemistry so important to find quickly. O'Donnell snapped it wide. Look at Waters race to the end line. The officials awarding possession to Team Glynn in purple. 17 seconds to shoot. Almost halfway home in the 4th. Johansson, skip it on through. Rosenzweig, nice pass, bullseye! Off the back door cut, it's Geyer's back.
Another assist for Rosenzweig. This time to Geyer's back. I like the quick ball movement. Johansson, little bit of a look off. Rosenzweig to the opposite side of that crease. Those are incredibly difficult to defend. Oftentimes you're relaxed. You're thinking that your player's not going to cut. Quick, speedy, accuracy, movement for Geyer's back in addition to placement.
Geyer's back, who had that scary crash with Courtney Fortunato yesterday. Geyer's back will go into the books with goals in 11 of her 12 games this season. She converts there. The helper from Rosenzweig, ending upwards of a 13-minute drought for Team Glynn. When you look at the resume of Libby Rosenzweig, you see that she had better than 200 assists, as well as better than 200 goals in college. Something the likes of Kylie Ohlmiller may have been the only other one to do something like that through a collegiate career, 200 plus 200. Ball down, Johansson will roll it along in the final 5 minutes. Game 23 of 24 this season. Kenzie Kent glides along, looking to create. Pass to the inside, Griffin. That was blocked. It looked like it hit Warden in front of Glenn. Katie was there just the same. Officials today, Ronnie Anton, Kim Kramer, Erica Leslie, Liz Brush, as well as Lynn Bowers, presiding over these professional athletes and Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 3. Cookie Carr on a jaunt upfield. O'Donnell will slow the pace. Temperatures in the high 80s. It's much more than that on the field here in Sparks, Maryland. About 20 minutes or so north of Baltimore. A lively crowd enjoying this one in anticipation of the potential Champions game. It's Champions Week with Athletes Unlimited, but the game likely to decide the championship title. Apuzzo and Marino to come. Whiteman was down there in a heap. Another official's whistle.
The ball being given to Katie O'Donnell again early in the first half. She had a lot of dodges with a head of steam. That was another one of those instances. When you get her going on the field, she can be tough to stop.
Geyer's back. The guitar player who loves to sing came up with the scoop. Play it over the top. Haley Warden. Ask her nicely, she'll make you the blueberry muffin. She likes to bake. That's sent wide. On the end line, it'll be Bosco Ball in blue with 3.5 to go in this one. The deficit for Team Glenn in purple, trailing by 2. Fourth quarter scoring summary. Chasing those 20 points, Courtney. It's 1-1 by my count.
You know, and you can win the fourth quarter and still end up losing the game. So if Team Glenn was just to get one more goal.
Oh, right off the grill of Katie Glenn. That was a bullet to the face mask.
So Team Bosco looks like they're getting the ball back. Not quite sure what that call was right here. But we saw the hesitation from Alex Ostholman before she took that shot. That was because Katie O'Donnell was in the way of that shot. There are no shooting space calls or 3 seconds. But potentially they could have been called walling.
Looked like O'Donnell actually caught the rebound. North floats it for Garrett. Keep it hot to Sammy Jo Tracy. Covered up quickly by Cookie Carr. 2:50 left in the fourth.
Well, that would be a tricky play to keep the other team from getting the ball.
Lindsay McCone, who grew up watching Mia Hamm dominate the soccer fields. McCone dropped that one on her way to the goal. Warden comes out with it. The pass spins Durkin around. It's collected, though, by Libby Rosenzweig. 2-point deficit. Scoreboard in the fourth is even. The chase for those 20 points for all players on the roster, all 14 of them. We get the whistle, and it appears to be the timeout called by Team Glenn facilitator Amber Hill. Chance for us to step away. We'll take you down the stretch in another tight-knit game. It's Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, presented by Tops. Kids in the stands loving what they have seen so far from Team Bosco and Team Glenn. Look at the third quarter for Team Bosco. A 5-1 advantage, a lot of that, all of it, in fact, via the production of Charlotte North. It's a 10-8 advantage with just over 2 minutes to go in regulation. Folks, for every assist during this year's Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse season, Aspiration committed to planting 10 trees. Heading into play today, it was a 138 assist total. That means we're almost now at 1,400 trees with all of these helpers, such as these players, sharing the ball.
Team Glenn did such a great job of moving the ball quickly, seeing those open cutters inside. Not only does it mean for some easy offense, but it means that a tree will be planted for every single one of those assists.
Two teams getting some shade before we resume the fourth. Just 2:19 left in it. Evans gave Team Bosco the 10-7 advantage. Geyersbach responded for Team Glenn, trimming the deficit to 2. As the players in purple get things coordinated, knowing that there's precious time left in this season. This is the 2023 season ender for these two squads. First of 2 games today, Team Marino and Team Apuzzo in the doubleheader. That's expected to roll around 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. 10-8 for Team Bosco. We can check in one more time with the Charlotte North. Charlotte, we appreciate all the cooperation throughout this summer. What needs to happen for your squad to secure a victory now?
I think we got to be smart with the ball. We want to keep playing the game we've been playing, aggressive, all over the 50-50 balls, but, be smart on offense. Keep going, keep dodging hard, but definitely, be a little picky on what we're going on.
Charlotte, in that third quarter, what was the biggest turning point that allowed for your team to take the large lead?
I think, in the first half, we had a lot of great looks. Our shots weren't falling, and we knew if we kept going and kept believing in each other that those would eventually fall. So I think that's how we got to where we are, and we're connecting, all ends of the field. All the units are fighting as hard as they can on this last day.
Charlotte, thanks very much for the time. We appreciate you engaging our lacrosse audience. Thank you. 2:10 left. Team Glenn with the ball. Geyersbach hovering on the perimeter. Rosenzweig at X. Gets topside on Taylor. Courtney, no worries after a bump to her nose. Compliments of Rosenzweig earlier in this half. Johansson fakes the flip, running away from Bosco. The rookie captain, the first defender in medal contention. She's hoping to be the first defender to ever place in the top 4. We shall see when all the MVP voting is done after game 2. 90 seconds left. Katrina Geiger on the clear. Geiger, if this is indeed her last game as a player and as a professional, we wish her the very, very best. Katrina wanted to prove that her body could hold up, and for 3 seasons as a pro, it did. She says, it's not over until I say it is.
She's fun to watch on the field. Very consistent in her play. A lot of caused turnovers. She's able to come up with those balls in the backfield, starting that offense.
Whoa, bad pass there from Grace Griffin. If it is indeed the end for Katrina Geiger, she said this is the revenge tour, and she's performed admirably in it. Katrina there to the left side of the screen, awaiting the advances of Team Glenn. Going to the goal now with just 45 seconds left. Johansson, nice moves. Right up the gut, she scores. Amanda Johansson tallies, and then she paid for it.
Amanda Johansson, when she gets a head full of steam, she is tough to stop. A nice little shifty move back and forth from Griffin. The initial player she's dodging through. Whenever you see a stick, just offensively, biggest note, run through it. Unless somebody's stopping you with your body, you make them pay for their feet being in mud. Amanda Johansson closing that gap. There's still 41.3 seconds in this game. That is plenty of time to score another goal and tie things up. It's just a matter of winning the draw cleanly and taking your time on offense.
5 2-goal games this summer for Amanda Johansson. The #1 overall pick in the draft back on Monday. She loved it in the past when her mom visited, when Amanda was a captain in Athletes Unlimited Seasons number 2. Those 20 points available right now in the fourth. The advantage is Glynn in purple, and Rosenzweig gets the ball back, and now a chance to force overtime, or perhaps win it with a dramatic 2 in the last minute of play. Rosenzweig approaches. Livy to the outside. We've seen Aldave and Apuzzo this season score game winners in the last minute. This ball is turned back over. Bosco, Team Bosco in blue, 10 seconds away from victory lane. Uh-oh, another collision. Taylor running into Rosenzweig. Players are going to need a few ice packs.
You know, they mean business on the field. They understand a lot is at stake, individually as well as for their team. Courtney Taylor, as she has another hard fall to the ground. I need some ice packs up here.
Team Bosco has taken the timeout. Just 6.8 seconds left in another one-goal game. We have a look at the leaderboard up to the minute. Now remember, once this game is over, the stat points will be tabulated. The MVP points will then be tabulated after the players vote. Up to the minute, this is the way it stands.
You know, it's so fun to watch the leaderboard change, especially when games are happening. Anybody in purple and blue has the opportunity to move up and down as their game is going on. We're going to see gold and orange in the next game, but every spot matters. It's so fun to watch because each spot means a different amount in terms of what is going to be awarded to those players as well as the causes that they cherish.
10-9 for Team Bosco. The lead goal for the moment belongs to Erica Evans. The last two tallies on the board, Geyersbach and Johansson, making it a 10-9 game, and now just 6.8 left. Waters is going to run for cover. Waters launches it downfield. Detweiler with the scoop, but not enough time. The fourth quarter 20 points is won by Team Glynn, but the victory 45 points belongs to Team Bosco.
Team Bosco digging deep. Their captain had talked about loving everything about this team, had a great first season. She just wanted to be focused on rebounding after their 2 close losses this week, and what a way to cap it off with another tight game, this time in the win category.
Okay, so you saw the 20 points that would be going to everybody in purple, and you also understand the 45 points for the win going to everybody dressed in blue, and as a result, the leaderboard continues to shuffle. 56 players, 57 total, including the injured Haley Radigan, all of them battling for position on the leaderboard, and as Courtney just mentioned, the better you do, the higher the climb, the more you do with respect to your bonus pool, and that amount of money also impacts how much you can contribute to your charitable cause. Athletes Unlimited does such an amazing job in the community. 10-9 in the books for Team Bosco. Team Bosco gets off the schneid, goes 1-2 this week. Katie Glynn's troops fall to 1-2 in the process.
Team Bosco relying on their veterans. Kenzie Kent with an assist, but Charlotte North picking up the slack. She had countless goals throughout this game and really elevated her team on the offensive end.
Charlotte North finishes with a single game record tying 6. We can show them to you right here in this video review.
Charlotte North, so deceptive on the field. It's a lot of fun to watch her. A powerful shooter. She's a crafty player, especially when that ball is in her stick. You have to be prepared for anything. She just has a way of corralling that ball in. A lot of whip, a lot of accuracy. Again, fun to watch.
Katie Glynn made 10 stops, but she was beaten 6 times by Charlotte North, who's standing by with Maria Tribal Peace.
Charlotte, you tied your own single game record for goals in a game. What made you so effective going to the cage today?
I think we came out firing from the get-go. We didn't, get all of our shots to fall in the first half that we wanted to, but we knew if we stuck to our game plan, they would eventually fall. And I think our offense was firing. We got a lot of shots off, which was one of our goals for the day. And our defense played amazing. We came up with clutch draw controls, and I think that led to a lot of momentum on the offensive end.
Team Bosco gets to end this Athletes Unlimited season with a win. How special is that?
It's amazing. I mean, this whole experience was great, and we're sad to leave each other, but we know we made a lot of great memories on the field together.
Speaking of memories, what was your favorite one from this entire season?
Probably all the in-between moments, the ones in the locker rooms before games, on off days, in the hotel. I mean, that's the best part. We get to play this beautiful game at a high level, but we also get to, be teammates and friends off the field, which is really fun.
Is that what makes Athletes Unlimited so special?
Definitely. I mean, we just get to all soak it in and be true professional lacrosse players, which is a dream.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you so much.
Joe.
Maria, Charlotte has a great laugh, and she loves to share it. She had a great summer season with her mates here with Athletes Unlimited, and Team Bosco in blue winds up victorious 10-9. Just a reminder, stay right there close by, 3:30 Eastern on ESPN+. It's Team Apuzo against Team Marino, the game that is likely to determine the Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse champion for 2023. For Courtney, for Maria, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks so much for your time. Team Bosco, the rookie, in the winner's circle.